Alright, Shalom. First, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops of Great Millstone that were well, that taught us his truth, and blessings to the elect and nation Israel. This is Brother Yakal coming with another video. Lord will, it'll be edifying. And I'm going to start with this video that I saw, which is prophecy, where the elites and their minions are basically buying land and making underground bunkers, you know, because they know that we're in the end times. They know that Yahushua is coming back, you know, and they know who they are. They know that they're, see, that's the benefit of knowing who you are. They know that they're Edomites. They know that they're on their head is on a chopping block, so they want to hide in holes like rats, like the rats that they are. All right, they're fulfilling their purpose in prophecy. The people that ain't is our people, and that's why we always speak about the elect, because the elect is going to get it. You know, the elect will be saved. The elect will have integrity. The elect will say no to MOTB. You know, the elect will die for the witness of Yahushai. They'll be bareheaded for Yahushai, you know, etc. The rest of our people, they're going to perish. Now, ask yourself why they're making all these underground bunkers. Because it goes into prophecy. All right. Now I'm going to play this and I'm going to come back. All right, with a few scriptures. It won't be that long. But this is proof that they're planning, because they know that all hell's going to break loose in this place.
Meters and meters and meters, feet and feet deep in the ground, so they would run and hide when doomsday comes. How prepped are you for the last day? This is the question. You see, this is the picture of how the bunkers look like. You will spend all of the remaining days here, feet and feet deep in the ground. Can you survive this kind of lifestyle in the bunker? All right. Even the billionaires today are digging their own bunker. People are convinced that the end of the world is happening, all because that Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook/Meta, just spent $100 million on an underground bunker in Hawaii. With all the extra costs will total to $270 million, with 5,000 square meters, with a blast-resistant door. Social media is speculating that something is about to happen. Doomsday bunkers are being bought up in places such as New Zealand and many parts of the world. And billionaires have been quietly building survival bunkers in remote locations, like PayPal founder Peter Thiel and Silicon Valley Sam Altman said they agreed on a plan to escape doomsday and have an apocalypse-proof property in New Zealand in the event of a calamity.
Is there something that Mark Zuckerberg seems to know that we don't? Now imagine having all the resources in the world, including the abundance of money. So what do you think you do? Well, a lot of people may perhaps think of purchasing luxurious items, properties and so on, but that is not what the world's seventh richest man, Mark Zuckerberg, is doing with his money at the moment. And this is sparking a lot of speculation. What does Mark Zuckerberg know that we don't? The Facebook founder is creating a compound which features a doomsday bunker. He's creating this compound in Hawaii.
Even the billionaires today are digging their own bunker. Why is Mark Zuckerberg building a private apocalypse bunker in Hawaii? Just below Billionaires Charity is an endless well of self-preservation. They're desperate.
And that's right, they're desperate. They are desperate. Now, those people that you saw, Mark Zuckerberg and the guy from Silicon Valley and the guy that made PayPal with Elon Musk, and Elon Musk himself, they're not really the top guys, man. The richest guys, the you know, the Bible goes into it. All right. If you go to Psalms 140, 149 and 5, all right, we started there. Psalms 149 and 5. Let the saints be joyful in glory. And the saints are who? The Israelites, man. All right, but this is talking about the elect. Let them sing aloud in their beds. All right. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand. All right. To execute vengeance upon the heathen. Because every one of these nations, especially the Edomites, which many of the top banking families are Edomites, they're the ones that have done us the most damage, because they funded that slave trade, all of those things. That's how they got rich. They funded wars in Europe, where we had monarchs in Europe, and they got rid of them. You know, the French Revolution. All right, Mary Antoinette. Mary Antoinette was an Israelite woman, so-called black woman. They just whitewashed their pictures. All right, but all of those things, getting, you know, the monarchs and cutting their heads off and you know, all these things, shipping us out from Europe and West Africa. All right, that had to be financed, and the people that financed it were the bankers, man. All right. So this is vengeance is going to come onto them, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments among the people. All right, verse 8, to bind their kings, all right, with chains, and their nobles with fetters of iron. See, the kings and nobles, man, top elite. All right, verse 9, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord Yahweh. All right, and the elect is going to have that honor, that great honor, all right, of putting our hands, Lord willing, above that number, on these kings and nobles. All right, and you can't get higher than the Rothschild family. Okay, the Rothschild family is the richest family in the world. They funded wars on both sides. World War One, they funded. World War Two, they funded. They made the state of Israel. They took Palestinian land away. They funded Hitler behind closed doors. He was a Rothschild. He was just a puppet. They've done a hell of a lot of damage, man. All right, and these people are going to be grabbed up by the elect. They are the kings and the nobles that the Bible is speaking about. Now, this is a video about the Rothschilds, and they make out like they're just great philanthropists, and you know, they've got their money from business deals. But it's a lot more sinister than that, and you can do your research in that. But let's watch this.
Fascinating world of the Rothschild family. A dynasty steeped in wealth and prestige. From their humble beginnings in Frankfurt, Germany, to today's staggering fortune, they've left an indelible mark on history. Recently, the Rothschild Foundation acquired a lost masterpiece by Guercino for €2 million. Now, this priceless gem is set to dazzle at Waddesdon Manor in England. And with their wealth backing them up, the Rothschild Foundation can afford such extravagant acquisitions, pulling in a whopping £41 million in charity income last year alone. So, get ready to dive into the lavish world of the Rothschilds. It's a story you won't want to miss. Meet Lady Lynn Forrester de Rothschild, a formidable force in the worlds of wealth and influence. With a net worth soaring into the millions, she leads E.L. Rothschild, a major player in the business realm, raking in a staggering $673.6 million. But she's not just about the money. She wields political clout, fundraising for heavyweights like Hillary Clinton. Introducing Nathaniel Nat Rothschild, the New York Times dubbed him as the contender for the title of the richest Rothschild. At 50, he's already making waves with his savvy investments and impressive business acumen. With an estimated net worth of around $1 billion and a potential inheritance reaching $40 billion, Nathaniel's future shines bright. Now we have James Rothschild, a powerhouse in the finance world. James, part of the prestigious Rothschild family, is known for his work with Rothschild Asset Management. With an estimated net worth of $1.3 billion, he's not just making waves, he's riding the financial tsunami. Next, let's talk about Ariane de Rothschild, breaking barriers as the first female leader of a Rothschild banking institution, inheriting an immense fortune valued at approximately $1.5 billion from her late husband Benjamin de Rothschild. She's truly in a league of her own. Now, let's turn our attention to Jacob Rothschild, the fourth Baron Rothschild, with a whopping net worth of $5.
I noticed that he chose the word that you know, his parents called him Jacob Rothschild, which is a total insult. You know, Jacob is the progenitor of the 12 tribes of Israel. You know, so they've got this coming. Now this piece of shit here he's dead. All right, but we'll get him in the kingdom. When he's reincarnated, we're going to know who he is, and we're going to whip the shit out of him. All right, and the character in The Simpsons, what's this guy? Mr. Burns. That is basically about him. You know, big teeth and all that stuff.
$5 billion. Jacob's not just about banking, he's also a generous philanthropist and a huge supporter of the arts in the UK. And the last on our list, David Mayer de Rothschild, is a well-known explorer and environmentalist who has participated in various polar and tropical excursions. The great majority of his estimated $10 billion fortune comes from his huge inheritances. With their immense wealth and philanthropic efforts, the Rothschilds continue to shape history and preserve culture for generations.
See, they just make it out that they're great people, and they help people, they help humanity. They're Satanists, they're Satanists, and they control everything when it comes to these countries. They're the ones that destroyed Syria, all right? Because there's only a few countries in the world where the Rothschilds and their other affiliates control the central bank of countries. One of them they did not have was Syria. So that's why, although all that stuff with Syria in 2012, going on till last year when they got rid of the president, was all about that. Now they've got a hold of that central bank. All right. There's a clip here of Mike Tyson talking about this as well. I'm going to play that because you have to you have to understand the evil that confronts us, man, and why the Lord is going to give them that judgment. All right, they're not going to escape. Let me play this here.
Really? But listen, I don't expect anybody who put me in prison. If someone puts me in here, and the more polite I am to them and the kindness, the more I lay back, that's not going to make them take their foot off their neck. It's going to make you want to crush them more. If you're in a fight with somebody and you hurt them, the objective of the fight is not to back off and let them recoup. The objective is to smash into oblivion.
But the law says if you made a mistake, you rescind.
Whose law said that? The law of the United States?
Yeah.
Or who controls the law of the United States?
Legislatures?
Yeah, legislators that have their own agenda. Laws mean nothing. You give me the currency of a country and you can make all the rules in the world. And that's all that matters. Who's in control?
So then,
you hear that statement? Who controls the currency of a country controls them. Who is he talking about? He's talking about the Rothschilds. They control every central bank on the planet Earth, apart from a few countries. One of them is Iran. The other one is Iran, North Korea. One was Syria, but that place has fallen now. All right. There's only a few countries that have resisted this. That's the reason why them countries have got nukes. All right. They have to have them because this devil is greedy, man. And Libya, Gaddafi had a nuclear program, and they asked him to give it up, and he did. And he paid for it with his life. Okay. So this is the kind of evil that we're dealing with, and that's why the Lord says that the elect is going to execute what? Execute upon them the judgment that is written. Because it says in Revelations 13, 9 to 10, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. How do you think they earned their money? All right? Via banking, man. All right? And where was the first stock exchange? In America. Who were the stocks? We were. Okay? So they're not going to get away with it, and they're building all these underground bunkers. You know why? Because they're trying to escape. Now, if you go to Amos, Amos chapter 9, the subheading here is the Most High's judgment, unavoidable. Their judgment is unavoidable. They can dig as many bunkers as they want. They're not going to escape, man. All right? They're not going to escape. This is Amos 9 and 2. All right? Though they dig into hell, remember, hell just means the grave. Like when you die, all right, they dig, a hole in the ground and put you in there. Your coffin. All right. So though they dig into hell, hence shall my hand take them. And the Lord's hand is going to be who? The elect. Though they climb up into heaven with their space stations, thence will I bring them down. All right. So they can't escape. It's inescapable, like the subheading. All right, the Most High's judgment is avoidable. All right, verse 3, and though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and I'll take them out hence. You know, they're trying to do, they've even got these bunkers that are they built some in America and other places that are in mountains, man. All right, that's not gonna you ain't gonna escape your judgment by that. All right, the elect is gonna get spiritual powers and get you out of there. All right, and though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, and they have bunkers that are underground. When I say underground, I'm talking about underwater retreats. We're talking about billionaires, man. All right. Thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. So if they've got these underground bunkers, underneath water, and there's different videos on YouTube showing that. All right. The Lord's going to command his serpent to bite them. And who's that serpent? Leviathan, man. All right. And I did do a, what's it called? Where is it now? Try and find it here. Which is the spirit, because recently I did a video on Leviathan. All right. And it showed him making land over there in California.
We need calm.
All right, let me put this off here. But at the end here, all right, here, at the end bit here, this is in when we had the scandemic, and this was in California during a lockdown. All right, and people that lived in this high-rise apartment, they kept hearing planes fly by. They heard gunshots. They heard these like big thuds, like boom, boom, you know. And they went on to the top of this building to try and see what the commotion was about. And this is what they saw, and it was Leviathan. All right, I'll play it for you. Let's see. See, now that's truly terrifying, man. That's truly terrifying. But hey, if you're a party elect and the Lord unleashes a Leviathan, you don't need to worry. He ain't gonna step on you. He ain't gonna blow fire from his mouth upon you, because you're covered, because you're a party elect. All right. So they have these under sea bunkers. That many of these. See, look, I'll just put undersea bunkers. You see, I built an entirely submerged underwater bunker. You see, they actually have them. It's not just a fad or anything. See, look, underwater bunker just confirmed. All right, they're trying to say that this is an old one, but they have them around there. So if they've got those things, the Lord is going to send his serpent to bite them, Leviathan. So there's not. So just like the subheading says, the judgment is unavoidable. They can't get it, man. All right. One last scripture to close. All right. And if you look at the Rothschilds, they're all Edomites, man. Mainly Amalekites. All right. And there is a street. I think there's a street. Rothschild. Yeah, let's see. Yep, I thought so. There's a street in Israel called Rothschild Boulevard. All right, Rothschild Boulevard is one of the principal streets in the center of Tel Aviv, Israel. You know why? Because they established it. They helped establish it. You see? And by the way, that street, man, must be full of demonic things going on, because they're Satanists, man. But they ain't gonna escape. All right? All right, this is Ezekiel 25:14. I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. See? So it's by the hand of the Lord's elect that they're going to grab them out of them underground bunkers, you know, etc. And bind their kings and nobles with fetters of iron, make them slaves. And they shall do in Edom according to mine anger. So it's not going to be according to our anger, all right, because we can't get angry enough. All right, the Lord's going to put his anger in us, and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord, saith the Lord God. So that's what's going to happen, man. So they can't escape this judgment. So they can dig into hell all they want. All right, the Lord sees everything they're doing. He's programming them to do it because it was going to make his prophecies come true, because the Lord's not a liar. All right. So listen, I pray you're edified. Until the next lesson, shalom.